Ms. Gandhi, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. I'll invite you to identify yourself for our record and also help us understand the work you do in Religions for Peace's role.
My name is Ela Gandhi, and I come from South Africa. I'm a Hindu by birth, and from early childhood we used to respect all faiths. So interfaith work isn't something new for me, but it was in 1983 that Dr. John Taylor, who was the previous Secretary General of the WCRP, approached me. I had just been released from a banning order and house arrest order at that time, and he invited me to come to the assembly that was held in Kenya in 1984. And so we said that first we have to organize a WCRP chapter in South Africa. And so I was part of that first group, the founder group, and we organized an interfaith group. In South Africa, we had been working with a number of different religions, so it wasn't again something new, except that we hadn't formalized it. So what usually happened was whenever we had any functions or anything like that, then we would invite the different religious leaders to come and say the different prayers and so on. But we didn't keep in contact, and this was the first time that we had a chapter where we formally met and we would keep in contact with each other. The most important thing about WCRP and how it has affected us, and I'm talking about the South African experience, is that having first come together, when we looked at what South Africa is all about, and South Africa was about using Christian national religion as a basis of oppression, because the way they interpreted Christianity was to say that they are the chosen race, and that the black people, and that's all of us, are the oppressed people. We are not the chosen race. And so that was the basis of the apartheid system. And in opposition to this, lots of people had gotten together, particularly the Christian people, because they felt that this was a misinterpretation of Christianity. So they began to reinterpret and look at liberation theology. And that is when the whole concept of liberation theology started in South Africa. And we got all these young people, young priests who had newly qualified and so on, coming together with all the different faiths as well, and looking at the issues that we faced in the country because of the apartheid oppression. And we began to look at, what kind of a society we would want. If there was a change in government, if there was a change in South Africa, what is the kind of society we would want? We had the Freedom Charter, which was, written up in 1955, but we didn't have anything about religion. And so we began to look at a religious, rights and responsibilities document, and we produced the Declaration of Religious Rights and Responsibilities document. And I think that was one of the most important documents for South Africa. As a result of that document, when the changeover took place, we were able to give the committee that wrote the Constitution the document to say this is what the religious communities have agreed upon. So there was a common agreement from all the different religions, and that agreement was then given, and it's now in our Constitution, which is really something powerful, and it ensures that the rights of every religion would be respected in the country. So I think, for me, that was the biggest achievement of WCRP in South Africa.
As you come to the end of 2013 and look into 2014, what is the role of multi-religious cooperation and Religions for Peace in particular?
Well, I think, often what happens is you put things into laws and constitutions, but practice is another thing. And so now in 2013, 2014, we have to begin to change mindsets. We have to begin to, talk to our people to change their thinking from the narrow confines of one, religious outlook to a broader perspective, and to work together, and how working together can bring about a better, society, a better solution. Because religions are powerful instruments. They have a lot of influence over large sections of the community. Each religion has a huge following, and they are able to influence that following. How can we then ensure that all the religions are providing the same kind of message? Because in certain issues, for instance, when we talk about HIV and AIDS, there are a number of issues. And if there is a common message, you find that there's a better solution to the problems than if each religion, is giving different messages. So in that respect, and there are a number of examples of this. So in that respect, coming together of the religious communities has made a big difference in our country and in our lives.
Thank you very much.